Hello, my name is Redwolf Krise. I'm a member of the Squaxin Island tribe. I'm running for position 2. My father is Mike Krise. My mother is Kimberly Miller from the Skokomish tribe.
Why do you want to run for council? And if elected, what would you like to contribute or be known for? What leadership experience do you have working with committees and boards, etc.?
I'm running for council, many of you know, because uh, I want more transparency. I want the people to know more about the decisions that were being made. I want to help the people feel more involved, feel more part of what the council does and what the council uh, is in charge of. And my one of my main things, my goals, is to get an actual general, I like a general body committee, general body, where we actually vote on a few items or things that the council believes is too big of decisions to make by ourselves. I believe that some of the decisions the council makes should be voted on and should be part of the people's choice or the people's at least opinions. And I think if we went quarterly, every time we get a per capita, if we did some type of meeting to where we could explain to our people about where we're going, what we're doing, and what our plans are for the year or 10 years, 5 years, uh, it'd just be very nice to know as a tribal member where things are coming from, where they're going, and what our long term plans are. And I am in the GUIDA committee. Uh, I've been in there for a couple of years now. I I don't know a lot, but I'm a good learner, and I'm more than willing to sit through whatever I have to sit through, take classes for whatever I have to learn. I'm I'm here for the tribe. I'm here for my people.
What successful strategies would you develop to empower our people, and how would you balance the tribe's business interests with cultural identity?
The tribe's business interest and cultural identity. I believe there are many of us out there that are very good fishermen. There are many of us out there that are very good carvers. There are many of us out there that are very good basket weavers. There are many of us out there that know many stories that need to be passed down. I think the stories are more important than the other things, in my opinion, because they can be lost. But if we utilize our people and use them as teachers and give them the jobs that to help our youth, would be a blessing, and treat them as not a business but as family. You know, my grandfather told me that once you learn something from him, you have to share it. You can use it for yourself, but you have to share it. You can't just bottle our traditions up, and you don't selling it for top dollar to your own reservation. It's not sharing it, but it does help you. But we're here to help each other. I I would I've taught drums to our children out here many of years. A lot of your children know how to make a drum because they sat through a class with me, and many of them know how grumpy I get when they want to take it the easy way around it, because there's no when you learn from an elder, you learn the way they want you to learn, and you don't take shortcuts. You don't take half steps. You do it the way that they taught you, so that way you do it right in the future, and that way you can say, "This is what was passed down from your great grandmother, your great great grandmother, your great grandfather." Not, "This is what I learned from YouTube." It's something that's it fills you here. And anybody that's an artist knows that when you're doing your work, you're doing your whatever it is that makes your heart feel good. That's your Indian. That's what you're feeding, and that's what we all need to share with one another, I believe. And if we had our children find that feeling, then they'd know where in life they'd want to go. And I'm, I raise my hands to the tribe every day with what they do with the children in education. They are very prone to help them in education, and that is very commendable.
To ensure tribal council makes decisions with generations ahead in mind, what changes would you propose?
Main thing to me is general body. General body has been overlooked for, man, a lifetime. I'm 41 years old now, and I've been to a few of them. but it hasn't been in a long time to where we've gotten to vote. We voted on whether the casino started. We voted on a few other things, and and they just stopped it. And I'd like to bring that back. I'd like there's many decisions the council can make without a problem, but there are some decisions such as blood or enrollment status that I believe that the whole tribe should be involved in, and and there's just some certain decisions that we all need to be involved in. It can't just be a certain number of the council. It has to be all of us at least have input in it, or if you're gonna make us go run one route, at least explain to us what that route's gonna do and what the long term goal is. Not just we're building a golf course and, and have at it, and we're stuck eating the bill for the rest for the next 20 years. So I think if transparency is very, very commendable, and I hate to say this word, but some places need to be audited. And it's not. That's one of my main goals is to learn the ways of the council right now, so that I can become treasurer and I can make the differences that I really think are necessary. And not to say that anybody's doing a bad job, not to say that anybody's doing anything wrong, but we all hear stories, we all know of stories, and nobody ever clarifies any of our stories. And that's what I'd like to see is that we all hear of hearsay, hoopah about the casino or whatever getting robbed up here, but where's our end? Where's our tribal cops come up saying this is what happened, this is where end the rumors. Let's have a meeting to where we can address the rumors, and then our council presents and says no, this is what really happened. And that's lacking right now, and sometimes it's aggravating.
How do we make our leaders accountable, and what, in your opinion, would create more transparency?
uh, right back to general body again. We get it per capita 4 times a year, and I get that many people can't come out of their jobs. They have to come here to the travel center for a certain time, or they get their checks mailed to them. But why can't we take the event center down there and hand our checks out down there while we're explaining quarterly, 4 times a year, what we're doing in this reservation, what's going on, what our game plan is, what we've spent our money on, and we can make it to where two of them are what we spend our money on 2 times a year, and the other two would be what our plans are for the years coming, and get input from the tribal members. There's many tribal members out there that have some stupendous ideas and that would make us good amounts of money, and they're being overlooked. And I don't. It just doesn't make you feel part of your tribe when you're overlooked like that. And or if you point out a property that's a quarter of the price of the property that we've been buying in the past, and it's a good buy for us, and you find it for the reservation, and they just don't do anything to it. It just it aggravates you at times. And I think if we had it to where all of us were in the building together and we had the answer to, it would make it easier. At least we'd walk away knowing we got some answers, or we got to put our 2 cents in, or we're part of the circle again. We've kind of lost that circle in the tribe. Now it's just the council and a square, and we need to blend it back into a circle where the council is the main part of that circle, but it's still a circle.
What would you do to prepare a tribe for future disasters such as a pandemic or earthquake?
Now, this is crazy times that we're living in right now. This is some days I wake up feeling like it's a dream and it was a joke. Some days I wake up feeling scared, not knowing whether to go to the doctor for something simple, and whether if my child being overprotective so my child doesn't break his arm, so we have to go in and possibly catch the COVID while we're getting our arm fixed. Uh, I do. I'm proud of the response that we've had as this tribe's going. I'm proud of the steps that the council's taken. Um, I have yet to find anything in dismay. So, the strategy team, I'm not a strategist for this, but I know that there are strategists out there, and I know that we have a couple. And Mr. Taylor is one of them, I believe. And we having sit downs with him and talk talking to people that know more about this type of thing would be good. Whether it's just the council or whether they come in on one of the 4 days a year that we have our general body and they explain it to all of us what would be going on, what would be happening. I went through the surge program a while ago, and it was amazing to me that we had Mr. Taylor working for us for so many years, and he's got such a this is a big position. What he's doing right now, what he had to do right now, is a big position, and I've never met him in my life. I didn't know he was working for us. I didn't know he was. I was like, why haven't I seen you before? If this is your job, why haven't you been here? And that was strange to me that our strategist that is in charge of things like this, I didn't even know him. And I've ran for council a few times. You'd think that I would at least passed by him once or twice and seen or heard of him or knew what was going on. I get that I'm not part of the casino prompt, but he's also in charge of up here as well as the casino. And I just thought it was odd that the person that's in charge of our natural disaster and relief plan wasn't known by all of us. And I've been a reservation Indian since I've been out here, and a lot of the reservation Indians that I know didn't really know him either, and that he has a little building right here next to our police station, and we could have stopped and asked him what was going on, and things like that. That's not transparency. That's exactly why we need meetings 4 times a year, at least 2 times a year, to where we can meet people like him, and we can be explained what that's money that wasn't explained. We don't know that what people like that. I'm sure they cost a decent amount of money to have somebody with that kind of plan and that kind of knowledge and that background, and but we don't know who he is. And if you're in a natural disaster, there's not many natives that are going to take directions from somebody they've never met before. And but this is the person we're supposed to take directions from, and I could see it causing a little bit of a headache if it really came down to a certain time. But take that with a grain of salt. We are doing great things, and that's I'm not an expert on it, but I would definitely find experts and have meetings with them and let the people know what the experts say, whether they know it's dangerous, whether they say it's safe. Being in the blind is the scariest thing. It's more nerve wracking than knowing you're going to die in a couple days. Is not knowing when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen really soon. But it's you have to be prepared. My wife's a mortician, and you have to be prepared for death. You have to be prepared for future epidemics. You have to be prepared for everything in your life, and to not think about it does not make you prepared. So I believe that this is a big eye opener, and it's going to make us look at things a different way in the future and make sure that we have a backup plan for if something like this ever happened again. But my hands are raised to the people that are doing it right now, and I don't see any discrepancies of what has happened. I have no complaints.
Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you want to say?
Uh, I just want the people to know that I know that I've butted heads with a lot of people in the past 8, 10 years. I know that I've stirred the water many a times, and I've made quite a few splashes outside the bowl, and I do that stuff because I care. I fight I fight the way that I fight because I care, and I believe that I've had some impact. I mean, you look at the things that I complained about, the Guida. We all have equal rights in Guida now. It took 10 years of fighting, but it got done. Uh, Look at the parks. I was complaining about the parks for 5 years. Now we have some beautiful parks out here. Not saying that I did all this. I'm saying that us speaking out did all this. Us bringing our voices to the table and letting them know that, hey, look, we're paying attention here, and and that our voices need to be heard, and they're being heard, and things are way better than they have been in the past. I'll say that right now. I am very happy with where our tribe is going. There are a few things that definitely need to be fixed, but there are people actually fixing them now, and I'm humbled to know that there are people actually doing things about what's going on, and the fact that you're addressing it is a big relief, and just the fact that we're taking this walk together. And I just want people to know that in politics you have to speak your mind, otherwise you're just another yes person. And we don't need yes people in our council. We don't need somebody that's just going to shake their head and say, okay, that sounds good to the lawyer. We're supposed to tell the lawyers what to do. The lawyers are supposed to find a way to do what we want to do, not for us to do what he wants us to do. He has to do what we want him to do and find a way and tell us whether it's legal or whether it's illegal, what actions we should be taking. He should not be leading the way. And that's one of the biggest complaints that I get from people that walk up to me. Many of you use me as your voice, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I love that. And I'm willing to be your voice for the rest of my life. But I just don't want everybody else to think that I have hate in me. I'm not a hateful person, I'm just very direct. I have a lot of love in me. I love this tribe. I love this reservation. I love all of our children, all of our elders, and all of our people. I will bend over backwards to help you if I can. And I just want you to know that all this years of fighting and battling and being rude, I guess you would say, or could say, was out of compassion and out of love and out of interest and out of the fight. Just like everybody is right now, we want to be recognized. We want to know what's going on. This is our tribe, our life, our family, our corporation. And if it comes down to become a corporation to make it to where we can have all of our children, I'd be more than willing, but we have to be big enough to make it happen. You know, if we want to make it to where there's no blood quantum, there is a way to do that. We just have to invest in the right things. We have to invest in money makers, like the gas station has proven itself. We have land in a lot of places. We have a lot of land right now that we could be utilizing for hemp shops, pot shops, uh, smoke shops. Espresso stands are extremely good businesses right now. And we're not utilizing it like that. We're investing in the wrong things sometimes. And if we're not, then the transparency would help to let us know, the people know that it's not like that. But I'm just here to be a voice for those that don't have a voice, and to be, I'm not going to be another yes man. I'll speak my mind, and I'll speak your mind if you ask me to. Even if I don't agree with somebody that asks me to say something, I'll still say it if it sounds like it comes from their heart. And it might not be from my heart, but I know that they meant it, so I'll speak up for them. And sometimes it gets me in a little bit of a pickle, but that's okay because I'm here for the people, and that's what I really wish we all were. So, Ocean,